Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique together. That's the call. Saying to you, saying to your friends, saying to your neighbors, saying to your colleagues, come, let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique together. You know, in days of old, and maybe it's still happening, if you have a house to build in the community, in the village, you would prepare food and drinks, and people will come and help you to build that house, to build that piece of road, to build that step, to build that drain, to repair that roof. It is a similar thing when it comes to our country, the state of Grenada, which includes Carriacou and the PT Martinique. All hands must be on deck, seriously building, seriously transforming. Of course, we know there are people who will come just to eat the food, just to drink out all your drinks. And there are those who will come and talk and slow down the work. And there are those who would come and cause you to use more cement or more sand or more gravel or more water than you should use. So we know there are people who don't want Grenada to transform. There are people who don't want Grenada to improve. There are people who don't want Grenada to develop. They will pretend that they do because the politics dictate that they give that kind of false face or they take that kind of position. But deep down, they want to see Grenada on its knees. They want to see Grenada flat on its face so that they can emerge, so that they can just walk on the backs of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique and get back into power. There are people like that because the politics is really one that capitalizes on crises, on situations that would cause people to be up in arms. That is when tyrants reemerges. That is when the bad guys get a chance to dominate, to be relevant again. That's the politics. You wait for that bad moment. But so far, they are not getting that. The economy is doing well, right? Jobs are being created. Opportunities are being created. Things are happening throughout the country. So they are not succeeding in climbing the backs of Grenada, just walking over it and getting back into power. Their work is cut out for them. It is more and more difficult for them because Grenadians are integrally involved in the development of our country. We are not standing by and watch. We want good for Grenada. We want Grenada to transform, and we are working towards that. And that's the beautiful thing about this time when compared to the last 10, 15 years ago. Our people now are more involved in the process. We want this place to become a paradise because indeed that is what Grenada was known for, being a paradise. And we must not only see it as a paradise with our land and our sea and our beaches and so on, right? We have to see it in our communities, in our homes, improving the condition of living, the standard of living of our people. So far, so good. Things are progressing nicely. And we all must be proud of that. Because historically, every Monday morning, you're hearing about some protests, some demonstration, some kind of problem. But we are stable. We are peaceful. The police, they're doing an excellent job. And look, there are countries right around us, nearby, who are in a terrible condition when it comes to crime and other things like that, or situation. But in Grenada, we continue to hear that the police confiscate or confiscated or did some kind of search and got some illegal firearms and, they arrested who and who and who. We continue to hear that. So they are working. There's a lot of stop and search. There's a lot of such warrants being issued. So things are happening where that is concerned. The police, they have been very proactive in recent times. Yes, they have to be reactive. If a crime occurs, they have to move. They have to do what they have to do. But they have been engaging the public. They have been forging a better relationship with the public. So things are happening. Grenada is a very peaceful place. More visitors are coming to Grenada. I looked only last evening and I saw a BBC piece speaking to the sculpture park for Carriacou, right? It made the BBC, Little Grenada. Well, let's say Little Carriacou, right? Made the BBC. That new sculpture park that they're organizing because Grenada wants to capitalize on dive tourism, being able to go down there and experience something totally different, right? So we are leading in many, 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 many areas, and we have to be happy about it. We have to be happy about that because not often do you see, good news so consistently. We have been experiencing good news consistently, so and we have to give God thanks and praise for that because there are other countries or islands who cannot boast of having good news so consistently just throughout. Yes, we have had some down moments. We know that, right? But we are bouncing back nicely. We are bouncing back nicely. And we have to be thankful. We have to be grateful. And thanks to the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and the NDC, they're doing an excellent job, a fantastic job. That is what Grenada wanted, a steady hand, a knowledgeable, a visionary leader who's focused. I want to commend the team. In fact, on Friday, they were all together, the cabinet of ministers, and you had some advisors there enjoying the moment, right? Socializing together. And they called me and I joined them, right? So I got the SOS and I joined them. And it was really nice. Very, very nice to see that they're coming together, right? They're together. Yeah, hold on, I'll call you after the program. All right? All right, good. Nice. Hello? Hello? Good. That's a good friend that's buzzing me there. So just saying, it's good to see that they're coming together and they're socializing, they're mixing, and they're mingling and so on. Right? Let me just send my good partner here a little message. A good partner of mine who buzzed me here. I'm just sending him a message. Well, momentarily, I'll do so. Uh, right. So I am saying it is good when they can socialize and mix and mingle and do things together. That's the way to go. I want to applaud them. I want to say to our beloved Prime Minister, keep doing what you're doing. That's the leadership. When you can bring the team together and drink and eat and laugh and have fun together. All right? That's the way to go. Kudos, thumbs up, thumbs up. So while the NNP continues to fight among themselves, while they continue to beat real bacchanal and they are warring politically within the NNP. The NNP is chaotic. In fact, we hear that the NNP intends to go out in the diaspora to make a little push, right? To make a little push because they're of the view that they have lost the diaspora and it's a good opportunity to reconnect. It's a good opportunity to see if they can, bounce back. So I know they will fail, but they're out there. They're out there and they intend to go to the United States of America. They intend to go into diaspora to see if they can trick the people out there. But little do they know. But you know what's interesting? They intend to push aside Peter David. So they don't want Peter David to be a part of their team. So it is rumored that Keith Mitchell intends to bring along with him, the Dwight and the Emlyn, along with him and push aside Peter. So let us see how that would go because that is how it goes with the NNP right now. There's real infighting, real problems in there. So they're coming into the diaspora, they're coming in the United States, from what I understand. Well, and again, it's the lie and mislead. But the people in the diaspora, they're well informed, and we have to do what we must do to make sure that they get the information that they must have throughout. But let us look at some positive things that are happening for our country. Let's start with the Empower Program.
Youth and Sports Minister, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, says the soft skills component of the Empower program will be extended to the 12-month duration of the program instead of just 3 months. This forms part of efforts to remodel the program to ensure participants can benefit significantly. Empower program provides young men between the ages of 18 to 35 with opportunities for self-empowerment, holistic development, skills certification, and employment. Successful participants benefit from a grant fund to start their own business. During Thursday's sitting of the Senate, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette also announced that the 4th cohort of the program will officially commence in November. However, registration will begin next Monday in Carriacou.
As of Monday, 10th June 2024, that's next week, Monday, registration will start in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I want to appeal to all parliamentarians, the young men that you know in your constituency, parish, community, village, that you feel will be able to benefit tremendously from this program. Please encourage them to go to the center where the registration is going to be taking place so that they can register and participate in the program. We have done some remodeling of the program, Madam President. I did mention that, I believe, in the last Senate sitting. And one of the remodeling aspects of the program is that the skills training, the soft skills component of the program was only for 3 months, but we felt it best to run the soft skills throughout the entire duration of the program so that it benefits the participants in a holistic and sustainable way upon exiting the program.
The registration train moves to St. David on June 12th at the Corinth Government School, June 13th and 14th in St. George's at the Athletic Stadium, June 17th and 18th at the YWCA building in Grenville, St. Andrew. Interested persons from St. Patrick can register at the Fur Recreational Ground, June 19th. Officials will travel to St. Mark and St. John June 21st and 24th at the Resource Center and Pastoral Center respectively from 9 to 3 p.m. Prospective candidates must walk with their banking details and national identification card.
That's a very good program. It's the Empower program, and it's not a new program. It's just that they've changed certain aspects of it, enhancing it. But it's a very good program where young men can get the opportunity to receive training, receive support through the training, and get a nice little grant, to start their liquor business and take it from there. I think it's a very, very good program. And I want to applaud the government for continuing this program, expanding, improving, enhancing it. But it is a very good program. All right. And that is the beautiful thing about the NDC. If something is good, they keep it, they enhance it, they build upon it. The NNP will be out there saying, well, these programs are programs that we started. Okay, well, great. You were there for 23 years and a half. You don't expect to start stuff or do stuff within that long period of time. You should be proud that you did a number of things within your time, and this administration is continuing it and enhancing it and building upon it. Sometimes when I listen to the NNP, I normally would just laugh, because if I am here and I cannot build a foundation for my children, then I'm useless. So they have to come and start from scratch, right? That shouldn't be. You should be able to build upon something and let them continue to enhance it, to expand it, to make it better. That's what it's supposed to be. You have to lay a foundation.
June 2024 is the month for the parish of St. John's 58th anniversary of independence celebrations. The St. John's Planning Committee and the Guelph Improvement Committee have successfully concluded a 3-day workshop on service excellence in street food. The workshop focused on food quality, personal health and hygiene, service excellence, and street food. Parliamentary Representative for St. John's, Honorable Karine James, held a ceremony for the successful participants. Colleen Williams, workshop facilitator, spoke to GIS about the workshop.
This session was very critical to the participants because it gave them the opportunity to become aware of how service excellence is important in delivery of whatever their product or their service is. And why is this so important for the constituency of St. John? We are talented people. We know what we can do. And it is always important to remind ourselves of what we can do. And we have to provide quality in whatever we do. So particularly for the persons who participate in Fish Friday, they vend, it was important for them to know how to improve on the quality of their product and of their service. And today we specifically looked at the 4 P's of service excellence in terms of the product, the pricing, the quality of the product, and the presentation. And price is important. We learned and we were reminded today that we eat with our eyes. And so it was very important for them to understand what they do, how they do it, to take a step back and identify one area that they can improve on, and therefore being able to improve the quality of their service.
Parliamentary Representative Honorable Karine James says the idea is to enhance the quality and services provided by business owners.
A lot of our food handlers, food vendors in St. John, most times, unless they don't have a restaurant or so, they would see the food business, the industry as a hustle, as opposed to a real business. And so what I wanted to do was to reach as much persons as possible in the parish to ameliorate the costs that it takes for them to actually register for it and to go beyond to getting the food badge. So I collaborated with the Government Improvement Committee to ensuring that we have as much persons as possible to come on the program. So I paid for the training, for one of the trainings from one of those service providers that teaches you what type of different dishes that we can do, what is good hygiene practices and all of that, as well as the mixology part of the training for the food vendors.
Minister James promised to continue working with the constituents, especially the young people.
The plan really and truly is to meet our young people, women as well as men, where they are at, see and understand what they would like to see as development and what they would like to see for themselves in the constituency and how they fit into that plan. Oftentimes I feel as though we do it as at a top-down approach, that we sit among ourselves and strategists and consultants and create the plan and shove it down their throats, but I think the approach needs to be different. So you would see me more in my constituency, you would see me more in those areas. I've never shied away from it. Even before politics, I've been in the ghettos, what they consider as ghettos, I would say the best places where creativity is at. You would see me there, you would continue to see me there, you would continue to see me in areas outside of the tongue of the constituency that our young people gather.
One participant thanked the committee for facilitating the workshop.
This 3 days workshop was very beneficial for me into the food business, because I used to classify myself as a hustler when it comes to my food, but I realized it's not hustling, it's a business and I have to put out my brand. So I would like to say thank you very much for the Grove Improvement Committee together with the Minister for St. John's for putting on this 3 days workshop. It was like 1 day of food handling and safety, how we prepared, how we take care of that. The next 2 days session was like with cooking, and then we come now to do the customer service, which is a big thing, because it's not just about cooking and handing out food, but it's a matter of how we do it.
Right. That's good. Very good. And I know this young lady very well. And I knew her as a strong NNP supporter. So we all are Grenadians, and we all are getting the kind of assistance needed to improve, to transform, to better ourselves. All right. And you'd hear the NNP from time to time saying, well, it's just the NDC people who are getting opportunities. Well, this particular person, this young lady, I knew her as a very strong NNP supporter. And I know everybody in St. John. I know their political leanings. Yeah, I know their political leanings and so on and so forth. All right. Zoe, why are you telling me this, Zoe? You don't see me in trouble. Zoe. So Zoe, close the door for me, please, and go and watch your program on your look at me trouble. Zoe has a good cell phone and she on YouTube. So Zoe end up popping into my program, running into my program. So she run from the room to come to the studio here and say, Daddy, I'm watching your program. Where is Zoe watching the program? On YouTube, yes? You don't see trouble? 2 years. Yeah, they're smart. They're smart. You say, Daddy, I'm watching your program and she live, you know. Zoe live on YouTube. All right. So I am saying things are happening. Things are happening for people. And what I love, it is not just NDC supporters, but NNP. We all are Grenadians. And we are seeing that this government is not just looking at party, but they're looking at people and how you can improve the standard of living of our people, how you can make them more independent, how you can make them more prosperous. And to me, that's a very, very good thing. We see it in nearly all the programs that the NDC rolled out or have going. I really applaud that. All right. I know nearly everybody in St. John. So when I tell you that, I tell you all. All right. Nice. My good friend Joel Sharp, how are you doing, my brother? I wish you all the best. He's a good gentleman. Let us move to another positive piece of news here.
Minister for Education, Honorable David Andrew, has assured that all efforts are being made to address the challenges that have resulted in some teachers being paid late. During a meeting of the Senate on Thursday, Senator Andrew also provided an update on the school feeding program. Details in this report by Annette Moore.
Concerns over late payments to teachers and perceived issues in the school feeding program were addressed by Senator the Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, in today's sitting of the House of Senate. Senator Andrew explains what caused late payments of teachers within recent times and says it is something the ministry is taking serious steps to rectify.
I want to talk quickly, Madam.
Oh boy. I hope I didn't lose. I hope I didn't lose the audio on the radio. So I would have to check that. I got tied up there. I hope I didn't lose the audio on the radio. So the audio is back from here because I didn't adjust the audio, the knob right here on the console. Yes. So there's audio now. All right. Thank you very much there. There's audio now. Good. So on the radio, I may have lost the audio there on the radio. So let me check and see. If I lost the audio, then I would be off air on the radio.
So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out. Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land.
Right, so we will be back on the radio shortly. All right, we'll be back, but let me continue with the program. Those things do happen. All right. So I was saying that in the video piece there by Annette Moore, I realized that this particular school, they're still using the enamel, like the bowls that are enamel. It's like, like you have the enamel potty and so on, a posy, whatever they call it. And when it falls, it scales or so. I realized that they're using these bowls still, and it's not in 100% good condition. So I think, and there are some schools that are in bad need of bowls and plates, spoons and forks and so on, cups and that kind of thing, glasses and so on. And I think it's a good opportunity for the NNP, right? For the NNP to assist as a party. They boast of X, Y, and Z. It's a good opportunity for them to assist in getting some bowls, plates, spoons, and forks, and so on, and donate it to the schools for the school feeding program, because the government has a free hot meal program running in the schools. All right, and besides the NNP, we too can assist in any way that we can. So if you're listening to me, wherever you're listening to me, and you want to undertake such a project in a couple of the schools where we can get some plastic bowls, or if not plastic, but breakable bowls and plates, I think it's more healthy, all right? Or plastic, because you might be dealing with kids. It's very cheap, in my view. You can get a whole pile of plastic bowls and plastic plates, right? Good quality ones, and plastic cups and glasses and so on, spoons and forks that we can, organize and donate, because the NNP seem not to be interested in doing anything constructive. The NNP seems to just be interested in making confusion, bacchanal, and melee, complaining, grinding, and groaning, and moaning. That's all that they do, right? They're not constructive. They're not progressive. They're not forward thinking. They're not responsible as an opposition. So you're in opposition, you complain, you grind, you groan. This is a good opportunity. Let me just show you what I'm talking about.
Teachers and perceived issues in the school feeding program were addressed by Senator the Honorable David Andrew, Minister for Education, in today's sitting of the House of Senate. Senator Andrew explains what caused late payments of teachers within recent times and says it is something the ministry is taking serious steps to rectify.
I want to talk quickly, Madam President, about statements being bantered around about teachers' frustration because of late salary payments. I think those statements quite irresponsible and unfortunate. So there are almost 1,800 teachers within our education sector. 1,800 almost. And when we talk, most of those teachers get pay on time. We talk here, when we talk about teachers getting pay late, between January and May 2024, there were about 25 or 26 teachers who were appointed, reappointed, or reassigned. And it's within that pocket of persons that there were some delays in payment. I'm talking about January to May 2024, right? I would admit, Madam President, that delayed payment is not something that I support.
Minister Andrew notes that when a teacher is employed, he or she is expected to look the part, show up regularly and on time from the entry into the service, and therefore they should be able to support this financially.
At this point in 2024, we need to be working to change this, and we are working to change it. We have taken a policy position within education to attempt to have all persons paid within a 6-week period from being appointed, provided everything works well. As we speak, Madam President, there are only 8 teachers who have not received their salary from that bunch. As we speak, 8. And some of them for very technical reasons that require special investigation. Like coming from a sector where you still have your salary running and you need a new salary here, and both the system cannot reconcile them yet until one gets out of the system. All of these documents are with PSC right now for review. These are processes that we cannot circumvent the system except we change the system. So when you get information, it has to go to DPA, it has to go back to us, go to PSC, and except we change the system, which is probably done for review too, but these things take time. These systems existed for years. And so I too want to put on record my thanks for all of the agencies and partners that collaborate continually with education to see our teachers appointed.
With regard to the school feeding program, soon to be rebranded the Healthy Start Nutrition Program, there is a continued focus on nutritious meals vetted by the Grenada Food and Nutrition.
That the $10,000 given to the opposition MPs, you have how many of them? 5 of them, right? You have about 5 of them. I think about 5 of them. You have Emlyn, Peter, Clarice, Keith, and Kate. 5 of them. That's $50,000 every month, right? That's a good opportunity that they have to take that money and use it to get some bowls, plastic bowls, plastic plates, plastic spoons. Well, sorry, stainless spoons and forks, because I think that is what they use in the schools, right? You can take the opportunity to do that in at least in your constituencies to start with, in your constituencies, and maybe the other MPs on the government side could take that opportunity to do a similar thing in those schools. All right. And if there are citizens out there who may want to assist, it will be good, in my view, to assist those schools, because you have a free hot meal program. It means that any child could access lunch in the school any day. So you have more people, more children depending on the hot meal program now than before. And from what I am seeing, there are some schools in need of at least the plates, the bowls, the spoons, the forks. And it will be a good gesture for the NNP MPs and for anybody out there to buy at least, because some schools, 100 and something students, 200 students, you can easily buy 200 plastic plates, right? The hard plastic plates that can be reused, the hard plastic bowls that can be reused, and there are some really nice ones. In fact, I remember when I had an event, I bought some plastic plates, and I'm still using them up to today. If you see them, you think that they're breakable, but they're not. They're just hard plastic. All right. So I am saying maybe that's a good undertaking where you can buy some plates, let's say 100 plates, all right, or 200 plates, 200 bowls, 200 forks, 200 spoons, 200 cups, plastic cups, hard plastic cups that can be used again. That would be a really good move on the part of the NNP, because look, the NNP MPs, they seem to be doing nothing except complaining, grinding and groaning, making melee, making bacchanal. And maybe the trade union could step in too, right? And undertake a project like that, right? Maybe church groups could do it too. Maybe community groups could do it too. Maybe individuals could do it. Because just looking at that, that's something that I red flag quite easily, right? Quite easily. There's a need for assistance to be given to the schools, and it doesn't have to come from government always. It can come from the opposition, because they're getting $10,000 every month as constituency allowance. And I am calling on them because I have been calling on them to do things. All they do is complain, grind and groan and make melee. That's all they do. The NNP has not done anything constructive since going into opposition. Keith Mitchell has $19 million. And I don't know whether it's still 19 or 91 or 18. I don't know. But he has millions of dollars. But this individual will not take his money and spend it to buy plates, some plastic plates, some plastic plastic cups, hard plastic bowls. Somebody say plexi, right? Hard plastic bowls and cups and stainless steel, cutlery, the spoons and the forks. He would not take his money. As he says, he loves Grenada and the people so much, but he will not take his money and buy these things and bring it in the schools. He will not do that. You will never see that happening unless he's forced to do so. So maybe as I speak and I'm calling on the NNP to do such a thing, they might just take the suggestion and run with it and do it, which would be great. But I mean, these things need to be done from the heart. If he's genuine and sincere, he should be able to mobilize and organize these things. and bring it to the schools. Come on, bring it to the schools. He will not take his money. And I've challenged Keith Mitchell before, you know. The man will not even open a pig pen to create 3 or 4 jobs in any village or in his constituency. He will not do that. No, he will not do that. But he has millions of dollars. Something as simple as getting some plastic bowls, hard plastic bowls for soup, right? Hard plastic plates, right, for the dry food and so on. Some hard plastic cups for the juice and so on that they normally use, and some forks and spoons. Something as simple as that. They will not spend their money to do it. All how Emlyn Pierre talking there, she will not take her money and do such a thing. Only when they're in government they could do things, you know. Now they're in opposition, they cannot even mobilize resources to help a school or a community group or anything of that sort. It's just sickening. All the NNP is good at is complaining, grinding, and groaning. Remember, I suggested some time back the need for them to at least mobilize the ground provision, the banana, the blogo, the plantain, mobilize the citrus in the community and bring it to the schools so that they can use it in a school feeding program. Remember, I suggested that? I said, look, you complain, you grind, you groan, you bawl, you scream, you moan. That's all the NNP is doing. I said, quit doing that. Stop it. Reach to the point where you can be constructive, where you can be useful, right? Reach to that place where you can be useful, right? And mobilize things within your constituency. Mobilize it within your constituency. There are schools right in your constituency. There are neighborhoods there where you can speak to people and communicate with people who have, so that they can at least, bag it up and carry it to the school so that the school feeding program can get it to use for the kids. Come on. I suggested that. You see, we don't just talk. We put forward good suggestions. So you have the NNP. They want to come back into government. They were in government before. You're in opposition. But you can still do things that are productive and good. Mobilize the fruits in the village. Mobilize the watermelon. Mobilize the swivel orange. Mobilize where lime is coming in now. You have cashew. You have things there now. You have a lot of mangoes. Mobilize those things and bring it to the school so that they can use it in the school feeding program. You have friends in big places, high places. Mobilize rice, sugar, right? Spaghetti, macaroni. They use those things. Me and you might say, well, it's not good, it's not, but they use those things in the school feeding program to feed the kids. The kids would not eat fig and blogo every day and yam. They would not eat that every day. So it's a mix. So mobilize those things. They may need ketchup. They may need barbecue sauce. They may need butter. They may need salt. They may need, certain things there. Mobilize it. You're the opposition. You shouldn't just be criticizing, condemning, tearing down. That's all the NNP is good at, All the NNP is good at is condemning, criticizing, complaining, grinding, groaning, moaning, talking. That's all they're good at. Nothing productive, nothing, fruitful coming from these people. They expect the government to do every single thing. That is what they expect. But a responsible opposition will find ways and means to do things that are good within the society. We are not seeing that coming from the NNP. We are not. So we're calling on them and calling on the trade union movement too. You collect dues and so on as a good gesture. You can mobilize and organize and give back to schools and so on. Right? So I'm saying the time has come for us to understand that this place is our own. This is our home. We need to do more to improve it and better it. So as I played the video, I recognized there's a need for that there, and I decided to slip it in. The Honorable Claudia Joseph, she has an event coming up for Father's Day.
This Father's Day, we're heading to We Pan Fest. Join Senator Claudia Joseph and the town community on Sunday, June 16th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Pedestrian Plaza on the Carenage for an unforgettable evening of music, culture, and a good lime for the entire family. Enjoy sensational steel band performances by the Co-op Bank Comancheros, Suzuki Food Fair Pan Wizards, and reigning Panorama champions Next a New Dimension. But that's not all. Groove to performances by Rootsman Kelly, Black Adan, Chaos, LED, Lasho, Zeal, and Young Mad. Food and drinks on sale. Face painting for the kids. Perfect for the whole family. And the best part, entry is absolutely free. We Pan Fest this Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Carenage.
Right, so that's the Honorable Claudia Joseph. She and her team, they organize that event. Go there and support it. So you'll be hearing about it more and more during the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's weekend. So please go there and support. All right.
Education Minister, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, says the Education Amendment Bill 2024, which was passed in Senate on Thursday, will bridge gaps in the employment industry and present more skilled, qualified, work-ready employees. The bill seeks to increase the compulsory school age from 16 years to 17 years inclusive, which means that a child must remain in school until he or she attains the age of 18. This will take effect from the start of the new school year in September 2024.
This is the legal language to say 18 years. So, in principle, we are moving the upper limit of the compulsory school age to 18. That's what this means. But of course, it has to be put in legal jargon and consistent with the writing of the Education Act. Because the Education Act says the compulsory school age is from 5 to 16. And we keep the inclusives. If you say to 18, it will imply beyond 18, which takes you into your 19th birthday, which is not a legal position to take. So when we say 17 inclusive, I want everybody around listening to understand that this actually means all of 17 up to the last day before you attain your 18th birthday.
Senator Andrew said more emphasis will be placed on skills training and work ethics to make students more marketable.
We find that there are several students who leave school duly after completing secondary school at age 16, and they can easily say, well, I'm through with education, I'm through with learning, I'm going to find a work, I'm going to find a job. But the reality is that these young persons are inadequately prepared for the world of work. Our business senator on the other side will tell us that the experiences come from a lot of employers, that there's a lack of work readiness on the part of our young persons coming out of the school system. The education sector has an obligation and a responsibility to bridge that gap. And so this results in frustration for many of the young, for the employers. Let me put it that way first. And so many of the employers apply to the Ministry of Labor for work permits for foreigners to come, to do jobs that ordinarily Grenadian young people could have been doing if they had the proper skill sets.
Leader of Government Business Senator Adrian Thomas and Business Senator Salim Rahman give support to the bill.
If as a society we are advocating that secondary school is the end of the game, we are investing heavily in poverty. We are investing heavily in poverty. I started to work after secondary school. My mother died. My father was not in a position to take care of me in the way that he should. I left my grandparents' home because they did enough, and I was renting on my own. Madam President, I took the bold decision to abandon the job because $400, $500 would not have carried me where I am today. Many people, when they start off in work, A lot of people are excited. I want to finish school. I want to go to work. But they will soon realize that when they start to have responsibilities, have to pay their own rent, they want a car, they start to make children, they will realize that the job they have cannot sustain them. Cannot sustain them. And therefore, it is important that we improve our education at the preliminary stage of our development.
I support having students learn and improve as much as possible before they enter the workforce, because the reality is, once they enter the workforce and other things come into play, other areas of responsibility, it's very difficult for them to go back. Very, very difficult. Continuing education is a challenge.
Yes. So that's right. So that's a very good piece there, if you ask me. Very, very, very good piece there. All right. So let me, good. So that's a very, very, very good piece. Speaking to young people getting that extra opportunity to learn more. So anybody with common sense will agree this move by government to ensure that the young people remain in the education system up to 18 years. It's a good one. But you know, the NNP and the pundits and surrogates, they're against this. They're angry. In fact, their leader put out a statement regarding this bill being passed. All right? They're angry because they don't want the young people to get further education. They don't want them to be more knowledgeable on things, because they know if the young people are more knowledgeable, then the chances of these young people supporting them, voting for them, is pretty much zero, nil. All right? So they're angry, they vex that the young people are getting an extra opportunity to learn something more. You have more technical and vocational skills being taught. There are schools that will be designated for that. They're pumping more money in that area. You know, NULO, they do an excellent job. You have Gray's typing school. They're doing quite a number of things there. Yes, the name says typing school, but you know, Mrs. Gray, she's doing an excellent job there, with quite a number of areas of training. And then you have the Labokan Center. You know, you have the music, a number of music centers where you could learn to play music and so on. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. I love that. There are students who go on to CC. There are those who go on to NULO. And there are those who would go to a next school to learn something extra for 2 years. And that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So you could complete secondary school at age 16, going on to 17, but you can move from that secondary school to another school to learn something more. All right? That's a really great thing. To me, only the NNP that's not visionary. They're not they're not forward thinking. They're not visionaries. They're not forward thinking. They're still stuck in the past, and they're just objecting to everything, opposing everything. I don't know, man. It's amazing, right? So Gray's Training and Accreditation Center. All right, that's the name. Gray's Training and Accreditation Center. Somebody asked where are the music centers. I think that will be forthcoming, because there are quite a number of music centers that will be accredited, and they too will be able to offer training and opportunities for our young people. So that's a very, very good thing. All right. So look, we have to keep at it. We have to keep at it. I think it's the St. David Women's Arm. I think they have something coming up, the St. David's. Is it St. David? I think so.
The South St. George Women's Arm presents
South St. George.
Hence, a pre-Father's Day social and fundraiser happening on the 15th of June at Comerhon Park. Starting time 6 p.m. and it goes up until 12 midnight. It's going to be fun and games for the entire family. Games for men, games for children, games for everyone. Eats and drinks on sale. Chicken and chips, fish and chips, Tanya log, lamby waters, bakes and saltfish, stew turkey, popcorn, barbecue chicken, grilled fish, pigfoot sauce, fry bakes, fish cake, plus many more to choose from. The bar will be solid as a rock. Local juices will also be available. Music by a popular DJ. Make it a date for the entire family. Comerhon Park is the place to be on Saturday, 15 June. See you there.
Right. So again, the South St. George Women's Arm, they're having that event, and we wish them all the best. Please go there and support. All right. Nice. So we almost to the end of today's program. You know, Sunday is always a very cool moment to engage in meaningful engagement or dialogue or, you know, chit chat, sharing information with you. That is always a good thing on a Sunday. So I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon into evening. And I hope you can join me tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the a.m. until 9 on the Dynamic Hour. And then the Hub from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. So that's Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning. Wednesday evening or Thursday morning, I intend to go up to PT Martinique for a funeral. My good friend PD Francis and Isa, the mother passed away. You know, PD is my good partner, he's my good pal. So PD's mother passed away, and she will be buried on Thursday. So it is my intention to go up to PT Martinique for that funeral on Thursday, the 13th of June. All right? On Thursday, the 13th of June, I'll be in PT Martinique for that funeral. I'll be back down by Friday morning. All right? So again, I want to extend my deepest condolences to PD Francis and Isa and all the others on the loss of their mother. And stay strong, my brother. I know PD will be in sometime today. All right, safe travel also. And I'll be in PT Martinique on Thursday, God's willing. On Thursday, God's willing, for that funeral. All right, nice. You see, our relationship is beyond politics. There are so many people who I know who support the NNP, but I don't see NNP. I see friendship. I see a human being just being cool at times. All right. So I'll be up there, God's willing, on Thursday in PT Martinique for a funeral. So there's a great probability there is no show on Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. So I don't know when exactly I'll be going up there, either Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. All right. So folks, take good care and have